Well, it is a Saturday and we're getting busy this morning on the farm. The first thing on the agenda today is to build out some more of that gravity feed water line, as we talked about earlier in the week. And what I'm doing is hopping into the canoe here, and I'm headed right over there to the other end of the siphon. There's a little bit of moss and stuff that's gathered around the end of it, and it's possible that might be clogging up some of that intake on there. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that apart, or not pull it apart, but take and brush it down, make sure it's all clean and we're getting maximum flow before we try this today. We are going to try to push water uphill on a gravity feed system, so we need all the flow that we can get. So let's see what happens. Yep, here we are coming up on the end of the gravity feed system. Try to paddle and record video at the same time here. Probably going to drift by this thing. We have just a little buoy on the end of this that keeps it afloat. The pipe comes down into the water, and the buoy keeps it up off the bottom to keep it from sucking up lots of dirt and stuff down there. But somehow dirt still settles on it. Not sure if that's because we live on a gravel road and dust comes down, settles on the water and drifts down on top of it, or if that's just a natural thing that's going to happen. But you can see the moss that's gathered around this. I think that's a result of having the cows allowed to get into the pond last year and putting a little too much nutrients for the plant species here in the pond. And so encouraging a little more of that type of growth. And one of the many reasons we're not letting the cows get into the pond most of the year this year. So yep, let's see if we can clean this up. So this is the intake for the siphon that feeds the gravity feed system. All it is so we've got 1 1/4 pipe coming out here, and then we size up to, I think it was a 2-inch pipe, I believe. If you're doing this yourself, do this, or if you're following my pattern here, I highly recommend go bigger. So size up to a 3-inch pipe, and that's probably what I'm going to end up doing, is cutting this down here and increasing the size of the intake here. It's just a piece of pipe that we drilled holes in and then wrapped it with like screen, like you would screen in a porch. Wrapped it in that. I think it would be better to have some type of screen that had a bigger hole in it. In fact, that's probably something I'll switch out to as well. But then you can see the buoy just tied on here to keep it up off the ground. I did have to clean this off a little bit. There was quite a bit of accumulation of just kind of pond scum, I guess, so to speak, on it. And I just brushed it off real good and kind of rinsed it here in the pond water. So that's how the end of this thing looks, and how that works for intake and keeping fish and stuff out of the gravity feed system. All right, next up today is to work on getting this water. So we currently have this water running gravity feed off the pond. It stops right here. We've got a 3/4 inch piece of PVC on the end of the irrigation pipe, and goes in a water hose, and then over here to a water trough, and that's where they've been getting water for the last little bit. So what we're going to do is cut that off of there. We're going to tie on with some more 1 1/4, run to the fence line over here, and then we're going to tee off and run a 1-inch line up to that corner up there. And that's the part where I've been talking about we are going to run uphill with a gravity feed. I'm hoping, because that point at the corner is lower than the water level on the pond up there, that it will actually be able to push uphill and get us some water up there. So we'll find out here shortly. All right, so we've cut off that 3/4 inch pipe, attached on another 1 1/4. You listen real carefully, you can hear water running through it. So yeah, we have water running down the hill from the pond to right here. Now let's find out, do we have water running uphill because of gravity? Yep, Sir Isaac Newton, you may be proven wrong today, that gravity does not pull things downhill. So what we did is we put a T on here. We reattached the 3/4 inch pipe here. And as you can see, we have water. A pretty decent source of water there. So that's running. So we do have water all the way down the hill. And now we've attached on, so that tees off right there. And we put on another 1 1/4 that runs uphill all the way up here. And then right here we go from the 1 1/4 down to a 1-inch pipe. And still running uphill, 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 all the way up here to the gate. Sorry about the wind. And lo and behold, gravity does not pull objects downhill. So we have water here, and it will run out as high as this. So that's very promising. Now we have to attach on a water hose to run from here and into the corner of the pasture right there. And we might actually, so we only need about 50-foot water hose, but we have 100-foot laying around. We might actually attach on 100-foot and see how far we can actually run it. So pretty cool, pretty cool.